Town Neighborhood News Magazine, co-produced with Sonny Hersh. Thank you so much for joining us. Check us out on the web, www.ntnm.org. We're at this point 42, 43, however many thousand people it is. 42, 43,000 shows have been watched. Over 25,000 shows watched this year. Thank you so much. Big on community policing, caps24.org. Of course, Sonny Hersh is the chairman of the district advisory of the 24th district. Find out where your local Rogers Park, West Rogers Park, and parts of Edgewater CAPS meetings are. It is a pleasure in our ongoing quest to have introduced you to as many people as possible running for office. Introduce you to somebody running for Congress in the 8th District of Illinois, Steve Greenberg. Oh. How are you?
Thank you for having me on.
First of all, pleasure. And why don't you tell us where the 8th District is?
That would be taking place like Schaumburg, Hoffman Estates, Barrington, Lake Zurich. Goes all the way to the Wisconsin border. 3 counties, Cook County, Lake County, and McHenry County.
So you got to be busy on your bicycle.
I have. This weekend I had 7 events alone, so I was to the top and the bottom of that district 2 times over. So it's a good district, though. It's good folks there.
Yeah, a lot of good folks, no question about it. We had the pleasure of meeting you for the first time at the Greater Chicago Jewish Fest.
Yes. I'm working hard to be double the number of Jewish Republicans in Congress to 2. So we're in the process of that right now.
Well, I think there's no question there's increasing numbers of Jewish people becoming Republican these days.
I think so. I think both on the economic front, I think we relate very well, and I think President Bush, although he comes with a lot of baggage and some faults, one thing he's been is at least a big supporter of Israel, which I think has been a big reason why we've expanded our relationship in the Republican Party. No,
that's true, and I definitely think that's a reason. And as a matter of fact, that's one thing I hear from a lot of Jewish people is that the relationship of the Republican Party with Israel has been a key factor in a lot of people being much more favorable and voting for Republicans than ever before.
Well, this is a serious time, and obviously as our troops are in harm's way, we have a decision to make on how we do that, and that will greatly affect Israel's future. And I think President Bush has accorded himself well, and obviously the Jewish community has been rewarding him with their support.
No, there's no question about it. And as a matter of fact, for those people who remember, I actually surprised myself by endorsing him 4 years ago, and that was because of Israel.
Well, maybe that's why he won. I heard it was a slim margin.
I can't take that much credit.
We'll call it the Abi line or something.
No, I will tell you, I do think the Democratic Party can take responsibility in 1960 for getting somebody elected. But
yeah, there you go. You mean in Cook County?
Yeah,
that's right. I should, I do have portions of Cook, but it's probably not the one that helped Kennedy.
No. Those are the riverfront districts. That's one year I did have my newspaper office, right across the street from Rose Hill Cemetery, and it was very interesting to watch the voters rise the night before the election.
Well, there's some healing aspects to that. But
so, and by the way, I just want to mention that to all the people, because everything's balanced. The people don't think certain Republicans, although not Steve Greenberg, don't do that in certain segments. People who talk to me all the time about Florida, I have to remember Cook County also.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Florida was interesting, but that would be a whole other story. And probably
right, but let's talk about what you would like to accomplish as congressman, and what people can expect if you win the election.
Well, I think the number one thing I want to accomplish is focusing on the aspects of how government spends our money. I believe both parties have forgotten who the customer is. It's the one thing that both parties are bipartisan on is spending the people's dollar like they don't respect how hard it is for somebody to send that dollar to them. So I want to build budgets based on what is needed in every department, not just what was spent the year before. Bringing in that kind of accountability and responsibility, and then addressing our tax base to encourage the middle income folks and to make sure that those who get through the process of success, that they're encouraged and supported when they get through that door, not punishing them for it, keeping a tax rate that's low and encouraging the kind of entrepreneurship that has really driven this country. That's going to be my mission, and to eliminate roadblocks on the way to success is also a priority for me as somebody who I hope to not just represent that district, but the greater Illinoisans when it comes to the representative in Washington, D.C.
How was your district? Is your district generally a Republican district, a Democratic district?
Yes, it's the old Phil Crane seat, and prior to that was Don Rumsfeld. It was, as of a few years ago, I believe, the most Republican district in the state of Illinois. But Phil Crane forgot who the customers were, and
yeah, he did.
He was rightly tossed out, and as well as the Republicans in 2006 for not spending the people's money properly. So for me personally, it's a good opportunity. My opponent might be a nice person, but I don't believe she aligns with the district, and I want to bring something that I think is fresh, that's going to shake up Washington and remind people over there that they're fighting for people back home, not the people in D.C.
Do you think that all the problems with the greater dissatisfaction with the administration on many levels is going to have a big effect on you? Or?
Well, we saw some recent polling that showed McCain is beating Obama substantially in our district, so it's and our race is very tight. The big thing that we see is that the George Bush years are in the past. John McCain, everyone knows John McCain was a wild, crazy duck in the Congress that didn't get along with the president every day and aggravated both sides of the aisle. And I think that's the kind of leadership and spirit that we want to bring there. And Governor Palin, has at least a track record of executing reform. And I think that's what Washington needs right now. I look forward to being part of that combination of people. As they bring it to the executive branch, I will bring it to the legislative branch. I will not go there to be supported by lobbyists. I will go there to support the people back home.
Well, one of the things I must say is that he certainly showed a lot of imagination and creativity in choosing Sarah Palin, and it just really changed the race. I mean, nobody can, even whether people like Governor Palin or not, it definitely changed the face of the race in such a dramatic way. I mean, I was very impressed by the choice, to tell you the truth. Well,
I think what she did was crystallize that our party has been the party of the jellyfish for too long. We have somebody who has some backbone, and in Heel, she stood up there and told the American people that this is where I stand. If you like me, but this is who I am. And I think we need more leadership like that. You get into politics, and sometimes you take, what I've noticed is people take a poll number before they make a decision. We need a lot less of that and more people giving your core. And you're going to agree to disagree on certain things. My wife doesn't agree with me 100% of the time, but she hasn't kicked me out the door yet. Hopefully maybe this political thing will lead to that. But in the end, I think the biggest thing is that we have to have leadership, not people that are waiting for the herd to move, then jump on the idea. So I think she really resonated with the folks that way.
Is this your first entry into politics?
Yes, it is. I have to admit, I have always believed in public service, but I never thought I was going to be the politician.
No.
And I like to say that I won't ever be the politician. I like to be, it's kind of Mr. Steve Greenberg goes to Washington, if you will. But I believe that the opportunity today to represent the community and give them a voice, in particular the S-Corps, the LLCs, the small businesses who I believe have been drastically and dramatically forgotten. And it's all about Wall Street and not about Main Street. My family business supplies 5,500 mom and pop stores across the country, people who get up and go every day, who create 2 out of every 3 jobs. Those are the folks that I want to give a voice to, and I've been honored to have the opportunity to do this.
What is your background?
Well, I have a little odd background being a Jewish boy from Chicago area.
Okay.
I played professional hockey for a few years. So
very cool.
As Sarah Palin came through the door and made hockey moms all good and cuddly, I'm hoping that in the end that hockey dads are liked as well now because my kids play. But left high school when I was 17, signed a professional hockey contract, and then went into a family business that really worked with those mom and pops, supplied them product and advertising to help them to compete against the Walmarts, the Kmarts, and the Targets. And then after that, I went the last 7 years, bought turnarounds, found businesses that were going to be shut down and would fix them up, and had a 70% success rate doing that, and that was wonderful. And I'm probably doing what I'm doing here not because of my successes, but because of the failures I had along the way too. I really respect the process to success and the journey that people take to get there, and that needs to be celebrated in this country a lot more than it is today.
Just out of curiosity, well, you know what, actually, we've only got about a minute and a half left, so I should probably let you plug away what you want to plug away.
Well, if anyone's interested in somebody who's going to go in and really reform the system, if you want somebody who's going to be a wild, crazy duck in the room in the Congress again, then I'm your person. If you want the status quo, then keep voting the same people in because the special interests will grab hold of them. They're happy to be there, and it's more important to stay there than do a job. You can go to our website to learn more about the campaign at steveforus.com.
Steve for Us.
Yeah, it's Steve and then forus.com.
Okay.
Or you can give us a call at the office at 847-726-0808. These are times, though, we need people to step up. This is a time in our country where we are fighting over freedoms and liberties, freedom and liberty in this country and around the world. I plan on being a voice that says every legislative bill that comes across my desk, I have one question to ask. Are the people back home more or less free in how I decide this? And I will always say if it's more free, then I'll be for it. If it's less free, I'll be against it.
Very good. And, of course, early voting starts, depending on where you're watching, this starts in anywhere. It could be starting today. It could be starting in 4 days. But early voting starts October 13th. So get out there. And, by the way, being very friendly with the publisher of Jewish Chicago, I know you're being back there. So I want to wish you luck along those lines. And, of course, Jewish Chicago is available for free all over the place in just a very few days. And at this point, I want to thank very much Steve Greenberg,
Thank you.
Republican candidate for Congress, 8th District, steveforus.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.